What if ancient Israel did not invade Canaan, but emerged from within it? Will it shock you to know that the historical ancient Israelites were indigenous Canaanites? Not metaphorically, not symbolically, but archaeologically. For generations, the biblical book of Joshua was read as literal conquest history, a swift military invasion led by divine command. But archaeology tells a quieter story, and it is far more interesting. To understand ancient Israel, we must begin in Canaan during the late Bronze Age, roughly 1550 to 12 BCE. Why? Because this is the world that produced Israel. This is the world Israel came from. Late Bronze Age, Canaan was not a unified kingdom. It was a network of independent city-states, each ruled by its own king, each embedded within a larger imperial system. Major centers included Hazor, Megiddo, Giza, and Lachish. These were not small villages. They were politically and economically significant urban hubs, connected to trade routes stretching from Egypt to Mesopotamia. Archaeology reveals monumental architecture, administrative buildings, imported goods, Egyptian scarabs, international correspondence. Canaan was cosmopolitan, and it was not independent. Canaan was under Egyptian control. We know this because of the Amarna letters, approximately 380 clay tablets discovered in Egypt. They were written in Akkadian, the diplomatic language of the time. They contain correspondence between Canaanite rulers and the Egyptian pharaoh. What do these letters reveal? Canaanite kings begging Egypt for military aid, reports of unrest, complaints of rebellion, fear of instability. Finally, around 1200 BCE, the system breaks. Lowland urban city-states fall. Trade routes collapse. The urban elite lose centralized power. And in this vacuum, the people who would later be called Israel emerges. Not in the once urban lowlands, but in the highlands of Canaan. Small, unwalled villages, not kingdoms as of yet, but communities of Canaanite peasants reorganizing themselves after the collapse of urban city-states. Archaeologists have identified over 250 new highland settlements dating to the early Iron Age. Their material culture is revealing. Stone foundations, mud brick structures, locally produced pottery, no monumental temples. And here is the critical point. The material culture in the highlands, where Israel emerged, continues Canaanite culture. The architecture evolves from Canaanite patterns. The language belongs to the Northwest Semitic dialect continuum of Canaan. This is Canaanite continuity, not Joshua's Israelite invasion. Archaeologist Israel Finkelstein describes this highland population increase as the demographic foundation of early Israel. And Mark Smith situates Israel's emergence within this Canaanite matrix. Ancient Israel did not enter Canaan. Ancient Israel emerged from it. Then we encounter something extraordinary. The Merneptah Stela, dated to approximately 1208 BCE, commissioned by Pharaoh Merneptah, son of Ramses II. Near the end of the inscription, a name appears. Israel. This is the earliest known extra-biblical reference to Israel. But the most important detail is grammatical. Israel is marked not as a city, not as a kingdom, But, as a people, Egypt recognized Israel as a decentralized highland population already within Canaan. There is no reference to an exodus, no foreign empire establishing itself. This anchors Israel historically already inside Canaan, not invading from outside it. Now, consider Genesis 13:7, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled in the land. What does this statement preserve? In the ancient Near East, identity was linked to geography, economy, and political structure. Canaanite often functioned as a term for lowland urban populations, the city-state world. The word Perizzite likely derives from the Hebrew root paraz, meaning unwalled or rural. A parazi is someone living outside fortified centers. Now compare this to the archaeology. Lowland fortified city-states, highland unwalled villages. Genesis preserves a cultural memory of social differentiation, real geography, real landscape. Remembered through theological storytelling, the Old Testament compresses centuries into narrative. Israel emerged from Canaan. And if Israel is indigenous to Canaan, then understanding Israel requires stepping further into the land of Canaan. If you would like me to go further into the world of ancient Israel, then subscribe and like this video for more Unveiled Bible.